Are you surprised to see black people and white people following or even listening to this very radical far-left group that's worse than the KKK, Black Lives Matter? Because Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of black fat lesbians, angry, evil lesbians. And now you have the black people, especially black people, and some white people, Antifa, another radical organization. Black Lives Matter is worse than the KKK. Are you surprised to see people destroying the country, listening to Black Lives Matter?
There's so many things you said there, but I'll address at least the last portion of it. We have to, before I can compare, we can allow that comparison between KKK and the Black Lives Matter to go on.
Yes.
Let's talk about what the KKK actually is. An arm of the KKK is all about protecting the spaces for white Anglo-Saxon males. So that means keeping their jobs, keeping their families intact, their schools, keeping their schools white as possible and their communities as calm and as white as possible. And they do it by any means necessary. And usually those means are simply violent means. Simply, like their image is from hiding their faces and burning things, carrying a burning cross and wreaking havoc through violent acts of terrorism, killing people.
But how do you explain this lesbian group, though?
Their themes. That's their only aim, is to protect their things by any means necessary.
But this lesbian group
are doing it because they recognize their terrorist acts.
But this radical lesbian group is about destroying things.
Black Lives Matter. Let's talk about Black Lives Matter. They have pillars of what they're asking for. They're a non-violent direct action organization, meaning that they use peaceful protest in every means.
Destroying property is peaceful?
You're talking about a riot that you saw, and you're putting a label on every group as if they are Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is actually a very small group. But mind you, there's probably a total million people who have been protesting outside in the past couple of weeks or past 2 weeks or so. All of those people are not Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter were organized when they're organized, and they're people who meet on a consistent weekly basis. They can't have a million people sitting there in meetings every week.
Well, I know there are other groups.
Organized organization, they do not condone violence. They do not condone acts of terrorism. They do not condone even looting.
Well, why don't we hear them denouncing it then if they don't condone it?
That's the organization to tell you what they're doing. But Black Lives Matter, from what I understand, you never will see them in front of a news camera because a part of their organization is to dismantle systemic racism and dismantle the institutions that uphold it. And so you'll never really see them being at a rally or stepping up on a stage ever to speak about their values, because in that moment, they're acknowledging that platform that they're standing on and giving credit to the institution for which they're trying to bring down. So you'll never actually see it unless you actually do your research in terms of probably going to their website or following up on the people, because there's literature. One of the actual founders, Dr. Melinda Abdul, she actually is an educator. She's a professor, and she writes a lot on this. So you could probably look into that. But
we tried to get her on the show, but she's a coward. And we've had some of the Black Lives Matter, Patrice.
You would never hear from her, but you would never see her in this space. You would never see her in this space because part of the Black Lives Matter movement is that they have no interest in engaging and giving power to entities that only seek to dismantle them or to undermine them.
Did you know that Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of fat black lesbians?
Women?
Yeah, radical lesbian. I don't think they would want you to call them women.
So what is your problem with a person?
No, but
a person who's simply different than you.
No, nothing at all. But I'm just surprised that the world is following a bunch of fat black lesbians, radical lesbians, and they are burning down the country following these people. I'm stunned at that. I just never thought I would see that, because black lesbians, fat black lesbians, radical ones, don't have any values. Satan is their daddy. They hate men. They hate the order of the family. There's nothing good about them. I'm surprised that in a Judeo-Christian nation, that you would see people following these people. No wonder they're so destructive.
Oh, Mr. Jesse, I don't got nothing to say to that.